Well, hey everybody, if I look rough, it's because we have entered the gardening season, which means sometimes I just work in the garden till I don't, and this is what it looks like at the end. I did not get much time. First of all, filming this Saturday evening for an important reason, which you're about to find out. But I didn't have much time. I took Darwin to his first acupuncture appointment, which took a really long time, and it was really far away, so that was most of the day. And then I got a little time in the garden. But we're out here and I'm filming on Saturday evening because rather than our usual stroll, we're going to do a little wine and weeds. By popular demand, you guys want some wine and weeds, and I've got weeds. I do not have wine, I have gin and tonic. And this is Conniption American Dry Gin, and it is quite good. A little aromatic with cucumber flavors, and there were some other things, some other notes that I saw on the bottle or in a review or something, and I'm not necessarily picking those up, but it's, you know, aromatic, and I definitely can taste some cucumber in there. Anyway, it's delicious. So let's go do gin and weeds. See, it just doesn't have the same ring as wine and weeds. But I want to show you a few weeds. So I think it can be helpful to identify weeds and show you guys weeds so that you can see what's a weed in your garden, know whether you should be pulling it or what it is or how you deal with it. And the first weed I want to show you is new to me, which is concerning because there's a lot of it around. So this is Motherwort. And I had to go look it up because I thought it was a weed, but it's not really been an issue here. But I am over here by, there goes a deer. I'm over here by the end of the driveway, and in this garden over here, it's popping up like crazy. Here it is. Here it is, here. This is, I mean, it's all through here. So my best guess is that it might be one more thing that is blowing over. If it spreads by seeds, most things do, from across the road there, which is where a lot of weeds come from. So Motherwort is in the mint family. And I think, let's see if I can pull one so you can see, because one of the things that you can usually tell the mint family from is that there's usually a square stem. I don't know if this one's big enough. I mean, check out the roots though. That pulled out because we've just had some rain, but that's a pretty impressive root structure. That's a pretty impressive root structure for a tiny little plant. So you can maybe, I don't know if you can see this stem right here, but that is square. And if you roll it in your fingers, you can actually like feel the ridges on it. Anyway, that's often a sign that something is in the mint family. And you know that if it's in the mint family, like that's just, not all things spread like mint, but I think this might spread like mint. So it is an herb. I don't know what the uses of it are. I mean, I've seen it for sale. So there's that, but that's Motherwort, and it is, I don't recall ever pulling this in my yard before. So the idea that I'm coming over here, and by the way, it is not localized to this spot. I have seen it in other areas. It's just that this spot is the biggest concentration of it. I think the thing that makes it stand out the most to me is these sort of puckered almost. The tops of the leaves are almost puckered. Anyway, there's Motherwort, and I'm probably gonna, I feel like it's gonna be a big problem, to be perfectly honest. Okay, let's go on the hunt for more weeds. Today was the very first day that I started doing any garden cleanup at all. And now it's driving me nuts. I mean, I could certainly you can wait longer, but this is absolutely driving me mad. So now I just want to like start ripping things apart in there. Well, I mean, here's one. If we're going to talk about weeds, we know what this one is. There's a little dandelion there, but I mean, dandelions happen. This in here is Creeping Charlie. I think I've done a special wine and weeds just on Creeping Charlie, but I think many of you probably are familiar with this. It's, I think Creeping Charlie, I don't know that you ever get rid of it all. And certainly I didn't right there when I pulled it. But it spreads by, its little rhizomes. It just creeps along the ground. Kind of scalloped little edges on it. In terms of how bad a weed is, I guess I've just learned to sort of coexist with that one. Well, here we've got 2 examples of weeds right here. 3, actually. Great. Jackpot. Okay, this is more Creeping Charlie right here. So this is what it is when it's small. And if you want to dig it out, you can just see how it just roots itself in along there. Okay, that's not bad for a hand pull. And like I said, I will never get it all. Okay, this right here is Dame's Rocket. Dame's Rocket is often confused with phlox. It is not phlox, it is Dame's Rocket. I think in some places it's considered more of a weed than others. Here it's quite weedy. It is quite pretty, so at least there's that. If you're going to have it, at least there's that. This is garlic mustard weed right here. Now we have bigger patches of this. Garlic mustard weed was, I believe, introduced from England, where it's actually like a culinary herb where they go out and collect it. So it pulls quite easy. If the ground is soft, it'll pull quite easily for you. But you can see this little bit that I just pulled. So this is actually probably a 2nd year one. This is not from seedling. This was probably growing last year. And I believe that's the case because I was always told that if the roots fork, that means they're last year's plants, not this year's. So the best thing you can do with garlic mustard weed is just keep working at it. I can't tell you how bad the garlic mustard weed problem was here years ago, and the entire neighborhood, everybody just, I would pull easily 10 of the large contractor garbage bags and then just be like, okay, I've done what I can. The best time, like I said, it's pretty easy to pull if you have soft ground after a rain. Make sure you pull it before you see the little white flowers, and if you start seeing the little white flowers, if you can't get to pulling it, just weed whack it down, because at least those seeds won't mature then. So that's garlic mustard weed, and it's quite invasive. Garlic mustard weed, I have done a wine and weeds just on that one too, by the way. Garlic mustard weed is one of those plants that is allelopathic or has allelopathic properties, which means that it puts a chemical out into the ground that makes it difficult for other plants to grow around it, which is why it's particularly bad. Here's a nice little patch of all kinds of weeds. This is more mature Dame's Rocket right here. And then same thing here. This is a, kind of a big cluster of garlic mustard weed. It is edible. You can eat it. I have never done it, but you could eat it if you really wanted to. I choose not to. Dame's Rocket doesn't pull very well, so I'm probably going to break it off. That'd be my best guess. I'm definitely going to break. Oh, I did break off some of it, but we did get a bit of a root there. So those are 3 weeds that are kicking around my garden right now, and they're quite prolific in this area. I don't know why that would be, but we have quite a few weeds there. All right, also no surprise to me, but another really bad thug invasive here is this grass that you see standing up here. This is reed canary grass, and I'm gonna have to put the botanical name on the screen for you because it's eluding me at the moment. But this tends to travel down waterways, so the seeds float along waterways, so that's why it always lives along the banks here of this little creek/stream that we have here. It is planted, or was, I don't know that it is anymore, I hope not anymore. It used to be planted as a buffer strip in agricultural areas. Well-intentioned, it just turned out to be super invasive. So you can see it's all in here. Very, very difficult to get rid of, and the seed bank for these things is huge. And I hope that all those little green things there are not it. I'm not sure. Look where I had to strand my gin to get in there. Beyond that, the weeds that are popping up right now are generally, like dandelions and quackgrass and things like that. Like the common ones that I think everybody sort of suffers with to a certain extent. Some of these are fairly common too in many places. But these are sort of the early season weeds. So the next round of weeds after we get through these, chickweed will be coming at some point after that. I'm trying to think what the usual suspects are, but all these weeds have a season at which they germinate, these weed seeds germinate, or they emerge because they're perennial or biennial. So, you come to know your weeds over time. At least I do. Like I can tell what season it is and I know what's coming next. And I don't know what the worst ones are. Oh, well, I haven't seen the creeping bellflower yet. Oh, actually, hang on. There is one more weed I do want to show you. It's real bad. So I brought up creeping bellflower, and this is not that, but this is a close cousin. And this is bellflower. That's some type of campanula ranunculoides or something like that. This one I believe is one called cherry bells, which I planted eons ago over there, and it has spread throughout this bed, and I've done my best to get rid of it, but the fact that it popped up way over here is so disturbing to me. It's terrible. Here you can see when I start pulling here. I mean, you can see how it runs, right? So check out that rhizome on that, and it's going right to here, so it's connected to this one. So you can imagine if there's that much root attached to this, you can imagine how this could just spread like wildfire through a bed. So not as bad as creeping bellflower, which is absolutely terrible and I have not seen yet. But honestly, like I said, I have not really cleaned out beds a lot. But be careful which campanulas you buy. Just take note of what their habit is first. And this one was called cherry bells when I bought it, and boy, was that stupid. Anyway, so that's what it looks like. Just to end on a happy note, the first daffodil is blooming. This ice follies that's here along the house finally started blooming. Got these beautiful flowers, very cheery. Very happy to see it. All right, guys, that is Wine and Weeds. Cheers. Here's to weeding with something to make weeds not so bad. All right, you guys have a great day in your garden. Hope you enjoyed this return to Wine and Weeds. We'll come back to them again as weeds present themselves. Wouldn't it be great if we didn't need to have them anymore? I hope you guys are having a good day in your garden and not finding a lot of weeds. We will see you soon. Thanks for watching.